One big legal problem could cost home sellers tens of thousands of dollars. As the housing market becomes a little less competitive, buyers might get pickier when it comes to the conditions of the homes that they're purchasing. But being dishonest about the problems with the home that you're selling could come back to bite you. In today's edition of Justice with Jessica, I explain what can happen to sellers if you aren't transparent.
But this is a nice remodeled house right here. I mean, I like it. I like the colors.
If your walls could talk, what would they say?
There were some cracks on the outside of this place that I'm concerned about.
Travis Lockard is one of many Coloradans trying to find a place to call home.
We are trying to have a family, so we want to have a space where we can, grow.
There's a lot he's willing to put up with.
I'm looking at foundation seeing if there's the major systems, how those look.
He just wants to know the truth. And according to Colorado law, if a seller knows about a big problem with the house, they have to disclose it, whether or not the buyer waives an inspection.
For instance, if a roof is leaking, that is something that a seller would be expected to reveal to the buyer.
Eric Nesbitt is a real estate attorney. He says things like structural damage and flooding have to be disclosed. This is true even if those defects have been fully repaired.
They can pursue the seller for fraud, for failure to disclose, again, because that's the law, that's a statutory right under the state of Colorado.
If the fraud causes the property to be worth less than the buyer paid, the seller could have to pay thousands to make up the difference. On the flip side, sellers are only required to disclose the major house problems that they have knowledge of. So be careful about waiving inspections.
I think there's definitely a financial gamble there, right? You're rolling the dice if you start to waive things, and yeah, that's when things start to get sticky.
The housing market still hasn't completely cooled, and some people are still waiving inspections as a bargaining chip. In those cases, be prepared to pay to fix problems you didn't know about.
Because if I have to give away all my inspection rights, I need to make sure I'm coming into something somewhat solid.
Unlike some other states, here in Colorado, sellers don't have to disclose if someone died in the home. If that's something that you care about as a buyer, be sure to ask.